Yeah, hello, lovelies. Welcome to the Judy TV show. My name is Judith, and I talk about marriage and marriage-related trending issues. Dearest, I want us to look into the latest. To be honest, I don't know what is happening to marriages, especially marriages of celebrities. People that you think, at the end of the day, they have the money, they have the fame and all that, think it will be better with them. But what we're seeing these days is quite discouraging. Much as I am not supporting, when two adults decide to go their separate ways, if they know very well that this is not working out or something. In fact, rather than the things snowballing into domestic violence, I prefer people to stay go their separate ways, and while they are separated, they can also be trusting God for reconciliation and see how they can work, discuss their matter and all that. That has always been my position, but I don't know what is now happening these days. I want to talk about the marriage of Uche Ogbodo and that of Peggy Ovire. Peggy Ovire was married to Frederick Leonard. I said was because they are divorced now. And then Uche Ogbodo was married to, is it Bobby Elvis or Bobby Ellis or something? One Bobby something, the fair skinned guy that I think the guy is. I don't know, he's a musician or something. He's not that popular. People know Uche the more than him or like Peggy and Frederick that is known because this one is an actor, this one is an actress. First of all, let me start with Uche. I see a lot of people, now saying, "Oh, it's your karma because you've been dragging May and all that." Now the thing has hit you, so you now see it now. You're now beginning to talk and all that. To be honest, I do not expect Uche to talk, or to come and throw banters at the guy. You know why? Because Uche was married before, and I think she had a daughter before she now married this guy. Now, I want to believe that you didn't just marry this guy to just come and pepper people on the social media or to let people know, oh, that I can also get married again, or even your ex to know that, somebody can come for me and all that. I don't want to believe that that is your reason because Uche is now making it look as if that is her reason. I said that because, one of the things, she kept on hammering on is that the guy is lazy. Am I the person that didn't say that your music should not, fly? That you're not a good singer, or so, such things, throwing the jabs at the guy. First of all, I think Uche is older than this guy. I don't have a problem with that. Age has never been an issue, for me. But when you are now talking to a younger person like that, if that guy should respond with that energy, you might not like it. You feel so insulted, by somebody who is younger. That is number one. Then number two, like I said, I don't think it was solely to pepper probably your ex or social media or online in-laws or whoever, but that was why you accepted to marry the guy, okay? Because I think they have two daughters or a son and a girl. I'm not certain now, but I think they have two children together. I mean, Uche and this her latest husband, or her second husband, so to say. Now, that this thing has happened like that, I do not expect Uche to come out and be throwing banters. I don't think the guy has said anything. The only post I saw the guy, I stand to be corrected, but the only post I saw the guy made was where he said that the crown of a wife, does not fit every woman's head. Something like there are people that are not good enough to be wife, homely enough to be wife, yes, responsible enough to be a wife, something like that. That's what I understand by that post. But in fairness to him, he didn't mention any names. So I expected Uche because when you come to think of it, actually, she was running May Uche down. Okay, you've been married to a guy, you've been throwing shades and all that. That made her, she will come and comment on May's post. If May should post anything, maybe any of her photos or endorsements or something, she'll come and comment her. By the time Judy Austin will come and dance with you, she will also go and comment on that dance or that video or something. Made netizens to now be asking her, "Come, Uche, stand one place. Are you here or there? Why should you be? You know what is going on between these people. So why should you be like in between?" And she will come and say, "Hey, na me marry, na me marry. Why una they drag me, na me marry and all that." Only for you now to have issues with a husband of just 3 years and you couldn't control yourself. Every now and then, I think Uche has made how many posts, that you're lazy, you sleep in the morning, from morning till night, you don't do anything. na me say make your music no fly, and so on and so forth. And what still, her sister, I don't know whether it's an elder sister or younger sister, also came out and Dragon was throwing shades at the guy. And I don't think this is proper. I mean, Uche, this is a guy you shared your body with, whichever way you look at it, okay? And then for whatever thing that happened, if you decide to go your separate ways, please do it maturely. This coming out to now come and say he's a lazy guy. So you didn't know he was a lazy guy before you married him. You married him. For the first year he was lazy, for the second year he was lazy, for the third year he was lazy, before you guys now went your separate ways. Did you try to set him up? Did you try to establish him or something? I mean, if this is genuinely the reason, nobody is supporting a lazy husband here, but what I'm saying is that how have you tried to help? Because if you know that you were richer when you guys, or when you agreed to marry him, then I expected you to offer him a helping hand, since you know that you are richer or something, or that you're more popular. But if you are now coming to use that to mock him, whereas you knew very well before you agreed to marry him, I don't see how that makes sense. And besides, you never can tell. It was just like what is it, MC Fish did, the ex-husband of Anita Joseph. The guy came throwing shades at her. Oh, I cheated, she cheated, saying things that is not relevant, because these are things that both of you should. I think he also even appeared on um interview with Jude, that media TV personality. So I was like, what is this now? But one thing Anita did, I think she just made one post and that was it. She didn't come to make any video or continued and all that. And here, Uche is just making his own. Before you know it, now this guy will come up and start spilling some things that is not will not be decent enough for a lady. That's the point I'm making. When you keep quiet most times, it doesn't mean that you're afraid. It doesn't mean that you're weak. Look at Uche, look at May Uche, for instance. It is that her silence now that people are celebrating. It's this her silence now that even men are commending. It is this her silence now that is even making you every Eke market day you will be begging from the backyard, making posts. But when you want to insult, you come and insult in a video and all that. So, which I expected you to show a level of maturity. That's just the summary of what I'm trying to say. If it didn't work out well between you and this guy for these 3 years, being that it's the second time you are going on this marriage journey, you should have kept your cool. There's no point of coming to say you're lazy, that, because you are indirectly indicting yourself. I mean, you knew he was lazy, you accepted to marry him, and then now you're complaining. What was that? That I don't think that's proper. And then, like I said, another reason is because that will give room for both of you to reflect on yourself, work on yourselves, and then see a possibility of reconciliation. Okay, once there's no issue of domestic violence or emotional violence and all that, it's all this normal, it's lazy and all that, and that you never can tell what will happen tomorrow. There will be an opportunity for both of you to come back together, and then when you're coming back together, you're coming back a better person, and he's coming back a better person. Okay, but when you now come and rubbish all these things on social media and all that, even when the guy will be like, okay, let me reach out so that we'll see how we can work things out, and then for the sake of your daughters, for the sake of your children. Like I said, I don't know whether it's a boy and a girl which you had for him, or two other girls from the girls she had before. That's three girls now. Now, those three girls will be watching. And besides, Uche, you never can tell. If it doesn't even work out between you and this guy, that at the end of the day, you ended up going your separate ways and all that, you never can tell who is going to come for you tomorrow. So when the person now wants to come for you, now the family of the person will be looking at you and looking at your character. How did you end up with this guy? How did he end? Did he end on a dirty note and then name calling and draggings and whatever? So they will be scared for their brother or their cousin or uncle or whoever. And then they will now be like, oh no, this is a red signal, for you to say you're going to marry this lady. But if you keep your quiet, there are ladies, I don't want to mention names, that is your colleague as an actress, had a baby girl with a guy. Nobody knows who the guy is. She has never come out to say, okay, this, that. Today she's happily married. She's happily remarried now, okay? So when you are doing all these things, just always think of tomorrow and think of your girls. It's no longer you that is involved. Your girls are there, so that it doesn't rub off on them. People will start judging them based on what their mother has done with her husband, or her mother did with their father. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So But I pray for you guys that if there's a possibility of, reconciliation, well, I pray that it happens for you people. But if not, you go your separate ways in peace. There's no need of all this, dragging and, gutter, whatever, who is lazy and who is not lazy and all that. That's just my point here, okay? So, friends, leave your opinion or comments at the comment section on the Uche and her husband. Okay, let's further the conversation there. Okay, and then the same thing I was just talking about, the same thing for Peggy Ovire and Frederick Leonard. I know that a couple of times, even I have done about two, three, four, five videos on them. A couple of times, people have always said that, oh, they've gone their separate ways, they're having issues and all that. And somewhere along the line, either Frederick or Peggy will come and say it's not, usually Frederick, that will come and say it's not true. I recall the last one when people were saying that they've gone their separate ways. The next one we saw them on a vacation, I think in Mexico. There was another time such a rumor came up, and then Peggy, did a wonderful thing that I quite commended that time. He marked his, I think Frederick was marked his 44th birthday that time, and she did that in a grand way. This kind of surprise birthday party and all that while he was on a movie set. It was quite interesting because I watched the video and everything, and I commended her for doing that. And I think after that, whether they were having issues and all that, they just made up and then they moved on. But to now hear this last one, that was like the last straw that broke the camel's back, where Peggy was now accusing him of, infidelity. That's the usual thing that is happening these days and all that, which I don't find funny. And then Peggy now mentioned the name of a particular married woman that has four children that this guy is dating. But I think Frederick came out and said it's not true and all that and all that. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I cannot say it is true. I cannot say it's not true because I don't know them personally. It is based on what is put out there. And I think the lady in question later came out and then also said that it is not true and all that. To the extent that the lawyer of Frederick now called Peggy a bitter woman and all that, that is not true and all that. Well, it's only Peggy that knows what she saw before she came out to accuse her husband. But whatever thing that happened, she was now saying that the case has gone to court. She has filed for divorce. That Frederick should try and be in court for the next hearing so that decision can be taken by the court. With regards to disannulling the marriage and all that. And then Frederick now responded and said, "I didn't marry you in the court. I didn't marry in church. So what are you talking about? Court divorce or something?" But I don't know what happened. Maybe she still proceeded. I don't know how it was handled, and the bride price was returned or something. I don't know what happened, but I know that I now saw a post purportedly made by Peggy, where she now said divorce is over. Divorce is, yes, divorce is done and dusted. That the marriage is over and so on and so forth. And I think Frederick, on his own, was now saying that somebody is free and all that. Maybe the person that maybe there's somebody who wants to marry, that the person is now free for them to get married and all that. I don't know whether that is because he didn't mention any name. But the same thing I said in that of Uche, okay, I say it in this one, even though I don't think there's a child between them, or any child between them. But whatever thing that happens, throwing shades, at each other. These are people that were together before in love, doing their best to make sure that their union works and all that. And if at the end of the day it doesn't work out, honestly, I don't think this idea of coming to like throw shades, call names, and what have you, I don't think it is just very necessary. For instance, if it is true that this guy is cheating with a married woman, okay, because at the end of the day, the husband of that woman now is somehow involved, except if the man knows that genuinely is not true or even her children. Because when you are making this kind of allegation, there are people that are involved that this thing is going to hit negatively. First of all, is the spouse of the lady, and then her children. Okay, I don't know their ages, but four of them. There may be one that is above 10 or something, and then maybe one or two has access to internet. And by the time they are seeing this kind of a thing, it doesn't all go well. My own is that if you are certain that this guy is cheating, and then that this is the reason why you want to end the relationship, just approach the court, or you guys can sit down and say, okay, because of this, I'm going to go to court. I want a way out. Okay, I need you to sign divorce papers for me, and it will just be between both of you. And then when you now agree to, end it all, you end it all peacefully and maturely. This one, you move on, and then this person moves on. But by the time you say one or two things at the end, number one, it might not be true. Number two, it might be true. Okay, even though I don't see how the bestie of a married man will be the another married woman, but it is possible that there's nothing between them. I mean, in immorality, it is very, very possible. It is also possible that there's something between them. But whichever one it is, my point is that coming now to spill this, assuming it is not true, then that means you have created problems for that woman and her husband, that's her spouse, and then also her children. Okay? But if it is true, the simple thing would have been like, okay, you know that this, maybe you caught them or you have your evidence and all that. You go to court, you present it to court, and then court now dissolves the marriage. Okay. The guy knows that you have a genuine reason why you are doing this. Much as it hurts, much as it's painful, going your separate ways, but you do that maturely. Like I said in the Uche's own that I just mentioned now, part of the reasons why May Edochie has the number of followers and supporters and fans she has is because of the way she handled this matter. A lot of women would have, they would have skinned you. I saw some people like were saying, "Oh, you're allowing people to throw your husband. Tell them to stop throwing your husband." And I'm like, "No, I don't agree with you guys. If May had come to say you is negative A, negative B, negative C and D and E and F, and people are now dragging you based on those negatives that you May mentioned, then if you're now telling her, tell the people that you told all the negatives of your husband to stop dragging him, then you are right." Okay, because Abinisho, she was the one that gave them the material which which to drag her husband. But May did not say anything. This lady did not run you down. It was rather you that came on social media and was running her down with Judy Austin. So now telling her to tell people to stop, but people are seeing what this guy is doing. So people are dragging him based on what he is doing or what he did and what he's still doing, not based on what this woman said because she didn't say anything. So part of the reasons why people are supporting May, backing her up and whatever, is even people that are not even Nigerians, or people that are saying May Nation. This May Nation is not this number of people that are 20 people or 25 or something. There are people that are not Nigerians that are, on May's case. May's case in terms of support. That's why when she went to Jamaica and all that, you see women gathered there and supporting her, even men. So, because internet is a global world, So that's what I'm saying. Somebody like Peggy. Peggy is beautiful. When you're talking of a woman Peggy is beautiful. Frederick is also handsome. So if both of you decides to go your separate ways, the much that can happen, no matter what. Yes, you can talk to your friends. Friends that are reliable friends. This is what happened. This is what happened. But to the general public, to netizens coming on social media to now say, okay, this lady, this one happened, I didn't marry you in court, and so on and so forth. It's I don't know. I think it's low. That's just the word. It is low for both of them to have done that. But if Peggy had kept her cool, filed for divorce when you know that it has gotten you up to here and that you can't take it anymore, go to the court and then get things done rightly. Do the needful. At the end of the day, they will invite Frederick to come over. And if it is resolved and then you guys decide to come together again, well and fine. But if it is irreconcilable differences that the court has defined it to be, then you go your separate ways maturely. So that when you see tomorrow, Frederick will be regretting, why did I meet this lady that has this good quality? She too will be regretting, oh, why did I meet this guy? What I was accusing him of, it wasn't actually like that. Because whoever that you're going to meet again, that person is not an angel. That person is not a saint. He's also a human being. He has his or her faults. So at the end of the day, you find out that, oh, this other person had this advantage over this person. Oh, but if you now come and rubbish yourselves and it was so dirty, you people parted ways in bitterness and everything, then to me, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. Nobody likes divorce, nobody likes separation. But the much you can do is do it in such a way that you still leave your relationship open-ended. First of all, for a possible reconciliation. But if there's no possible reconciliation, at least you go your separate ways, and whoever that you're meeting next will know that you're a responsible man or responsible woman, that you didn't, rubbish your ex over nothing. That's, I don't know. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Guys, please leave your opinion at the comment section. Let's further the conversation there. But that's just what I think. Okay, it's quite unfortunate that both marriages ended this way. I wish them all the best. Since they have decided they've taken their decision, there's nothing we can do. They are all adults that are involved in both parties. I wish them well, like I said, and I pray that they will heal and then move on. And one other thing, when you meet another person, either as a man, as a woman, please don't take out your experience of this person on him or her. The person is not the same. This person might be somebody that will come to wipe away your tears, either as a man, as a woman. But by the time you use the experience of this one to deal with him or to her, you also lose the person. Then people will be counting it for you that this is your second time, or this is your third time, or this is your 10th time, or this is your 12th time, or your 20th time. And I don't think it's the best. Okay, so guys, I'd like to end this video here. Thank you as usual, guys, for investing your time watching this video. What else do I say? Yes, I expect to see you guys at the comment section so that we'll further the conversation there. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.